All right, you guys, let's get going. It's Friday. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for your support. I've had so many great emails and messages. First question going out to everybody, if you would put in the chat, how many of you went out to the craft store after either Joyce or Julie's program? Just saying. Firstly, I wanted to thank Teleflora for their support of education. This week has been amazing, but we've been able to do so many great timely programs over the last couple of months, and we have more coming for you before the end of the year. We're so excited and so thankful that they're supporting education, helping florists to get through this tricky time. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lottie McKinnon. I am Teleflora's Program Director of Industry Relations and Education, and it's my honor that I get to work with such amazing people, and we get to work around flowers every day. How cool is that? I'm so excited about today's program. Customer service is something that's very close to my heart. And Vonda and I completely agree on this subject. And so she's got some great tips and tricks for you. It'll be fast paced. So I do recommend notepads and pens out because there's a ton of great advice. Please feel free to ask questions in the Q&A function or in the chat function. Either way, I'll be monitoring throughout. And I also want to bring on after the program, stay with us because Rich is going to come back and talk about the design contest because I've already been receiving some really super cool entries and I want to encourage all of you to join us as well. So stay tuned after Vonda's program. Without further ado, I want to introduce my amazing colleague, Leslie Ann Cravens, and she is an incredible mentor, teacher, and she's also the unit president for our Lewis and Clark unit. Leslie Ann, hi.
Hi. Thank you guys so much for allowing the Lewis and Clark unit to sponsor Vonda's program today. We're super excited. Like Lottie said, I am the president for the Lewis and Clark unit. I am a little bit different than any of the other board presidents that you heard from this week. I actually supervise a student-operated floral shop on the University of Missouri's campus, and then I also instruct our floral design program. So everything that I do for this board is to bring more education back to our students and to get them more interested in the floral industry. And that's a big reason that I joined the board and I ask people to join because there's never enough education and I don't think you can stop learning. And it's my pleasure today to introduce Vonda LaFever, AIFD, CFD, PFCI of Florida. And today she's going to inspire us on customer service, like Lottie said, how to make better sales and really just help us embrace the other side of the floral industry. And we're super excited for that today.
Thank you. It's really great to be here. We're going to start with a little, give me just a second.
I think I need to
make me a host so I can share the screen. So I'm really excited to be here.
Here we go. I'm making you host, Vonda.
Yes. There we go.
Yay. That's great.
All right, now we've got it. Super. So like I said, it's been, like Lottie mentioned, it's been a fantastic week. The boot camp has been fabulous. Hopefully you joined Joyce on Monday for spooktacular holiday designs. And then with Julie Poulter on Wednesday with really the open house for the holidays or open for the holidays. And they both shared some amazing designs, design ideas, ideas for merchandising. But what we need to know is you can make the most beautiful designs and actually spectacular designs. And if you can't sell them, what good is it, right? I mean, we're putting beautiful things on our website, they sell themselves. But we do know that people are calling on the phone, they're coming into your establishment, coming into your business, and if you don't treat them right, as Lottie said in her thing, you can spook them away, or do you want to open them up to be able to come back time and time again? So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that actually sales is more important than design. I know I'm an AIFD designer, and as well as many of you are fabulous designers. But if I make something and I can't describe it and sell it to you, you know, what good is it? It's going to sit in my cooler, it's going to sit on the shelf, and it's not going to be any good for anybody. So we just have to be really mindful of how we treat those customers, both in the store and on the phone. So the number one tip, get your greeting right. Yeah, what do I mean by that? All right, so the person comes in the shop. They say, you go, can I help you? And they say, no, just looking. What do you say? Whew, I'm so glad I've got a million things to do, and I didn't want to wait on you anyway. That's what's coming off when you say, okay, fine. You're just saying, let them look around, do what they want to, and you get to go back and do what you want to. It's not what we want to do, right? Oh, I'm so glad you came in to look. Now remember, you're social distancing. You have your masks on. They can't see your face. They can't see you smiling, that you're happy they're there. They can only hear it in the inflections of your voice and the way you're acting to them. More important than ever when you have people coming into the store. So when they say just looking, get out from behind your design table and go say, I know you're just looking, but let me show you what just came in. We've got these really cool containers that just came in with this beautiful design, or I have this awesome new line of candles. Oh, you should just smell the fragrance of this. Move your mask down and take a smell, because these are really awesome. Those kind of things are going to make a difference when that customer comes in. Also, say, are you looking for something for yourself? Or are you here to reward yourself for getting through so much of this these days? So try to get them to like laugh or interact with you a little, and not be like, just leave me alone. Make them feel comfortable, make them feel like you're really excited that they're there, but you respect the distance that you're giving them on looking. So it's finding the balance, but be sure and let them feel like they're welcome in there, and that you're not just abandoning them once they come in the store. Same type of thing when somebody calls you on the phone. So they call you on the phone, and what is one of the first things? How are you today? Number one, do you really care? Right? Well, maybe you do. I mean, somebody on the phone, they could have just broken their leg and been in the hospital, and they're ordering flowers for somebody at the hospital who helped them. And you're going to say, how are you today? They're not going to say, well, actually, I broke my leg and I had this and I had that. No. So why ask, right? It's just one of those questions that they're going to give you just the same answer. I'm fine. How are you? I'm fine. How are you? So instead, what's your greeting? Thanks for calling. I would say, flowers, etc. This is Vonda. How can I help you today? So now I'm asking them, how can I help? So, or it's a beautiful day at Fairfield Flowers. What can we do for you? You know, so it's interacting with them in a way that they're happy that they called you. I could do the same thing, and the inflection of my voice doesn't say that they're welcome to call. Flowers, etc. This is Vonda. Can I help you? Now, are you going to want that greeting? Are you going to want to still talk to me? Or are you going to hang up the phone and like, oh my gosh, she doesn't have time. She didn't have enough energy to sell me flowers. So inflections in your voice, which we said the tone which you use and the words you use, or
Why do you need to tell you to turn off your mic and video? I don't know how to do it.
So what we want to look at is,
sorry to interrupt you. Can we just, we're getting audio and video. Can we just ask you to turn it off, Rich, please?
Can we what?
We just need to get Rich to turn off his audio. It's coming in over the top of yours. Sorry,
it's okay.
Otherwise, we missed what you have to say, and it's awesome. Thank you, Danny.
Okay. Come on, mute.
Perfect. Thank you.
So do you want me to?
Yeah, carry on. Just that last sentence, if you would. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it just makes so much difference. The inflections in your voice and what you're saying is, you can either, again, keep them wanting to interact with you instead of wanting to hang up the phone, or leave your shop and go somewhere else. So that's the key, is making them feel comfortable, make them feel confident as you move on into the sale. So one of the biggest keys is, the tips is listen first. So now I've said, what can I help you with today? Or, you know, what is it what are you looking for? I'm going to listen first and say, because most of the time they'll say, well, this is Mike Jones, and I want to send flowers to my mom. Okay, so one, I got the name Mike Jones. I'm looking in my point of sale system to see if they're a customer, because then I really can interact even more. If they are a customer, I can look and see that he's ordered before, a little bit about him, because I have those notes. If not, it's all right. Mike, so you want to send flowers to your mom. Tell me a little bit about her before we get started. Now, one, he's excited because you're not just like trying to take an order. You're listening to what they say. If you have a script and you're reading off the script and going just from that, they know that, or they don't feel as important. The idea is to get them to really feel like they called the right place and you're the one who's going to help them. Tell me a little bit about your mom. What's her favorite color? Is she more of a traditional person, or is she interested in trends and what's going on? You know, because, or sometimes their favorite color can tell you that. And sometimes they just rattle on and tell you a little bit about mom. You know, she's going to be 83 and she's doing this or doing that. So listen, because you're picking up clues at that point. Is there anything else you think is important for me to know? Okay, they're going to talk. Now, you're going to have some people who are just going to be like, nope, you know, they're just going to be in and out. But the important thing is they feel that what you're doing is you're really listening. Now, maybe it doesn't matter what it is that they're telling you, you know what you need to sell. Maybe your designers say, we're overloaded on sunflowers today. We really need to sell sunflowers. Okay, so I'm listening and seeing how maybe I can work that special into what this customer's, whether their needs match what I can supply to them. Then you're going to say, I have a few ideas that I think will be perfect for your mom. This point, you have to be confident. You have to know what you're going to offer. You're going to have to do it in such a way that they understand and you're confident about what you're doing. So now you say, I have a few ideas. They're excited because they have listened. You have listened to everything they've said. They've given you a little bit about her, some of her favorites. Now in your mind, you're going to have to pull those forward. So let's say that the person said they wanted something for Halloween. Most of you saw this really adorable arrangement, Monster Mash, that Joyce Mason Monheim did in the Monday program. Really cute. Now, what if I had this sitting in front of me and I said, she said, they you know, the designers just brought this dish garden over here and has these cactus in it with these eyes glued on them and this black stuff coming out of the side. It's really cute. Now, who's going to want that? Really? It was my tone and it was my description that really didn't bring you in. You have to be able to paint a visual picture so they can see something as well as be excited about what you're telling them. So let's look at descriptive words. This is a really creative and unique dish garden with cacti that really is perfect for the season. If you're looking for something really unique that fits the Halloween spirit, but can be used well after the holiday, this is a perfect design for your mom for the Halloween season. It's very whimsical. So you're telling them without saying, we glued the eyes on the cactus, you know, do descriptive words that are really bringing them in. It's like, oh, it's unique. I like unique. Mom likes unique things. It's creative. Well, I'm looking for something that's just not run of the mill. If I wanted run of the mill, I would go to the grocery store and pick up something, right? Or somewhere else where they're not unique and creative. So words like that really do matter when someone is trying to make a decision on what they're purchasing. Now, I found this website and it's right down here. You might want to write that down, or I can send it to you later. It was a blog, but it has great descriptive words for selling flowers. And so it goes from A to Z pretty much on words that you can use that will help you describe what you're doing. Now, we all know that some people are more comfortable with some words than others, right? So creative, unique, whimsical, those are all pretty easy. Some people don't want to use classic or very amazing, because to me, something amazing might be different to somebody else that's amazing. So keep in mind, look through all those words you're going to see there and pick out something that's good for you to be able to decide, that's going to work for you to describe things. Take those words, put them next to your phone. You know, pick out which ones are the best for you to describe almost everything, right? Celebrates the season, right? We got that going now. Is it creative or is it traditional? You know, is it unique, whimsical, or is it classic? Something that they're used to seeing, kind of a everyday type design. But who wants to buy something that's just everyday? No, we want something that's a little bit more unique. It's a classic design, traditional colors, or traditional in design style. So look at the words, or you probably know which ones you're more comfortable now, and use those words. But if we don't have those next to us as we're trying to sell flowers, it's not gonna happen. I mean, we fall back to, yeah, it's a really pretty little thing that we'd be glad to send out for you. No, you have to be able to sell the flowers. So this a beautiful design, as many of you saw with Julie, for Open for the Holidays. This was a gorgeous design using permanent botanicals and fresh combination. All right, so what are we going to describe this? We're going to say this is a fabulous centerpiece. It's on trend in the color and the design, using a combination of fresh and permanent botanical materials. It's perfect for the center of the table. It's elevated, done in a mercury glass bowl, and it really celebrates the season. So all of those things made me go, ooh, wonder what that looks like. Now I would have to call back and say it's in a combination of blue and cream colors, accented with the evergreen. So that makes it perfect for the season. So if we look at those, we really are describing it and bringing it in. Again, it could be just the opposite. I could be saying, you know, it's just a blue and white arrangement. It'll work in the middle of your table. Okay, it does. But does that bring you in? No. Same with, we're going to move on to this, which is the Thomas Kincaid. So we can see I have a Thomas Kincaid arrangement. So what do I say? I have a Thomas Kincaid, it's in the centerpiece. No. Again, we have a keepsake Teleflora container. It is in a centerpiece style design with beautiful, elegant red roses and encircled with the evergreen and accented with pine cones to really make it down to earth. It is a cute little thing. It even lights up, which makes it extra special. It's a keepsake, and we know that many of you, I bet your mom has gotten these year after year, and this will add to her collection. So again, celebrates the season. It's a traditional, it's something that's a keepsake. Words, again, that describe not only the container or the keepsake, but the centerpiece itself. It's trying to marry the two, right? One thing that Julie really hit on when she was talking on her presentation on Wednesday was that we need to ask the right questions. Here we have the centerpiece. Maybe they have an allergy to the evergreen, and you want to use just the permanent botanical evergreen and everything. So as she mentioned, when you're gathering those questions and finding out a little bit more about that person, be sure that you're asking the questions, whether, especially like she said, at a nursing home. Sometimes they won't allow evergreen or anything that's very high fragrance. So you might even ask that to them. It's like, this is going to a facility. Is it okay that we have some fragrance to this, or should we hold off on the fragrance? And a lot of times they'll tell you those things, or you, being the professional you are, maybe know which places can have that and which cannot. So always ask the right questions, because then not only are you getting better satisfaction from your customers, but you know that that customer is coming back time and time again. Not just the recipient, but the person who called you the first time. They're going to want to call you because you're the one who really cared about what they're doing. Now, in this design here, as you can see, next to that beautiful design are candle holders. Displayed this way in the store, but the customer on the phone, they're not going to know that. So when you talk about the centerpiece and you say, oh, that's beautiful. Well, let me ask you, I'd love to be able to send candle holders and candles along with this design, because it's the perfect combination for that table or for that entryway. And what we're looking at is, 2 candle holders. They're the gray tones, which match that mercury glass bowl that we're using for this. It has the 3x9 inch candles. And I think it's just the perfect combination and the finishing touch on the design that we're going to do. So again, what is it that you can offer them? We're doing it on our websites, right? We have a beautiful arrangement. You have all the add-ons that are possible. Some of you have gifts that you can click on and add to the purchase, but we have to do that on the phone too, because they don't know what you have in your store, right? So if you have it there, you need to be able to sell it. So really, you have to be able to get the customer engaged, know what they want. You have to be able to make a suggestion based on listening. And then really the last point is you just have to wrap it up. Make sure that you're repeating back to your customer what it is that they're getting. We're sending this monster mash to your mom, and her address is 1234 Lake Lane. And the message on the card is Happy Halloween, love from the family. And we're going to deliver that on the 30th of October, so she'll have it to enjoy. Now, the total, including tax and delivery, right, is X amount. What you're doing here is you're making sure that they're agreeing, right, and they know that what you've done is do your very best to listen to what they have, what they want, and send it to the right person at the right time with the right message. They know that customer service is so important to you, that you're taking the time to wrap it up, right? Wrap it up and let them know that the professionalism that you have is at top notch. Then they say that, I think the statistic is 70% of you do that will be so satisfied. So the satisfaction level goes way to the top when you actually repeat what they're getting and wrap up what the whole thing is. Also, don't forget to thank them. Thank you so much for calling Flowers, etc. Know that we're going to take really good care of this, or know that right now I'm going to give this order to the designer and I'm going to put it on a priority so that she's going to get that by the end of the day. Something that makes them feel extra special for having ordered from you that day. So that fast and furious, Lottie, like I said, here we are. I just want to thank you and Teleflora for allowing us to be able to really talk about sales. There's so much we can go into about sales. We've just kind of got the tip of the iceberg, but if you remember those tips, your introduction is key. Start it out right. What is that greeting? Listen first, because there's so much that a customer, as you know, will just like rattle off before they even start to place an order. Listen, gather that information. Then you're going to make suggestions with descriptive words and a good upbeat tone. Even if you're busy, you still have to be like, this is the most important person ever. And that's a person that's on the phone or in your front room. Treat them like they came to the right place and they will come back. And then wrap it up. Be sure and repeat back to them so they know what they're getting, where it's going, the message is correct on the card, and assure them that they called the right place and that you're going to take real good care of it for them. So Lottie, that's it in a nutshell. I just hope everybody has some tips they can take with them and go out and sell flowers. Make the beautiful design and sell it.
Awesome. Thank you, Vonda. We do have a couple of questions here, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Firstly, you know, particularly with when you get seasonal workers in to help in the shop, people who aren't necessarily familiar with, you know, the way that you operate things and might get a little bit nervous once the phone rings and it's kind of all eyes on them. Are there specific tips that you have for, you know, do we put cue cards up by the phone, or what do you recommend for that?
Sometimes you can do some type of scripting, but what the problem with just script is that they can tell you're reading off a script. So definitely some type of cue cards of, you know, like intro. Sometimes you have to write out the intro. You know, my name is Lottie. I'm at Flowers, Etc. What can we do for you today? You know, to help them remember things like that. But then I think if we put get their name and listen, right? Because then they know they're going to listen for a while, and then a list of some descriptive words. Or in the case of the Teleflora products, we know that each one of them does have buzzwords, is what we call them, or descriptions that you can put next to the phone because you are describing something specific that they can be looking at. So it's not a bad thing to have some scripted information. Just don't go through just one thing after another and read off a cue card. So does that make sense?
Yeah, perfect. I mean, I love the idea of just having some of those, you know, adjectives there, because that really helps. Because, you know, I know certainly I always go to a super and awesome and a wow kind of a words when, you know, when you get a bit tongue tied and you really want to make that sale. So
but that's okay, because that's why I was saying personalize it with what you're used to saying. So that's your verbiage, you know, and that people can feel that enthusiasm in your tone. So the words and the tone, both, you know, awesome. But you might be able to at least tell them the color palette or something else.
The important thing. So thank you, Vonda. We've got, there were some amazing tips. And I know you and I are actually working on doing an even more in-depth program about this in early November, particularly to cover when you have seasonal employees in as well, which would hopefully help people through, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, holidays. Vonda, would you mind switching me over to host? Because I'd love to talk to Rich for a couple of minutes. And then we can let, oh, awesome. Thank you.
And I did that. Well, just a minute. We still got to move you over.
Now we can see your work as well. Rich, I am going to, if you can hear me.
Make host.
Thank you.
There we go. You got it?
Technology. We love it. Love it and hate it, right? So Rich, I know that you've got some stellar words for us as well. Can we put you on camera? We can hear you, but we can't see you. Oh, there we go. Talk to us about the design contest.
I'm so excited about the design contest. I think it should be something that everybody should enjoy doing. I think it's wonderful that it has 3 fabulous prizes. First prize will be $500. The second prize is $200, and third prize is $100. Now, I just want to remind you about your submission time. Your submissions have to go in an email. The email has to read Holiday Design Contest Entry. You'll send that to Lottie, and her email is LMCKINNON@teleflora.com. You have to submit, and this is the trick, you have to do this weekend. So you got a whole weekend to think about it and play and just really have fun doing it. And you could get some money from that. So the submissions have to be sent to Lottie by 5 p.m. Pacific time on October 12th, which is Monday. Did I forget anything?
No, that's awesome. Thank you. We do really encourage you to submit your entries. It's going to be so fun. We're going to make the announcement next Friday. So, you know, I'll do something really fun on Facebook so we can enjoy and really get into the season. I know it's weird sitting here and it's, you know, here in LA, it's 80 degrees, but it'll soon be chilly and we'll all be able to enjoy a hot cocoa around a fire. So I do encourage you to get creative, go to the craft store and get your entries into me, please. With that, I wanted to thank all of you for joining us. Thank you, Vonda, for all your hard work. Thank you, Rich, and thank you, Leslie Ann. Love you all. Happy Friday. Have an amazing weekend and get creative. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.